by having enough stuff.
Just to enjoy what you have, you know? You don't have to wish for more.
Think of what you do have rather than what you don't have. It's like I was giving my example about fixing the car, like people said to do. Seems like a waste to go spend about $1,000 fixing a car, but thank God you had the $1,000 to fix it, or probably last $1,000. Thank God you have the car.
You can only not be jealous by truly thinking that what you have is the way it should be, and that what another person has is exactly what he or she deserves.
Just appreciating what you've got, and you take pleasure in everything you have. You use what you've got, and you don't want more. You're just happy with what you've got. You use it all the time. That's perfect.
How can we be happy? Now, my children, I am going to give you the secret of happiness for free. Just take 5 minutes. We don't have more time than that. 5 minutes, but I'm asking you, if I give you the secret of happiness, it's so important. Please share it with others. Okay? So now, here's the secret of happiness. We're standing on the 70th floor of the Empire State Building. A guy walks in, opens the window, the 70th floor. And he opens the window and he's going to jump. Would you try to stop him? Everybody says. I mean, nice people say, sure, try to stop him. So I tell him, he's 8 feet tall. He weighs 500 pounds. He says, you try to stop me, you come with me. Say, okay, please, my pleasure. Is there anybody you want to give regards? You know, any messages you want to leave over? He says, I see you're a very nice and sensitive young man or young woman, yeah? And you know what? I'll give you 15 minutes to dissuade me. But before you can dissuade me, you've got to hear my sorrows. You've got to know why I am going to jump, how much I suffered. Are you ready to listen? You say, sure. He gives you 10 hours of service. You're crying your eyes out. You're ready to jump with him. I mean, this guy is unbelievable. What he suffered is unimaginable. I mean, you can't. Finally, he turns to you and he says, okay, so you hear how much I've suffered. I don't want to suffer anymore. That's it. I don't want to suffer anymore. I'm going to make an end to it all. I go out the window. You got 15 minutes to dissuade me. It's a tough one. So let me suggest, you see. You say to him, tell me, my friend, if on top of all these service that you told me about, besides all these service, you went blind. You were blind. You never saw a human face. You never, children are playing and you don't even know what they're playing. They're laughing and you don't know what they're laughing at. You bunk into lamp poles. You don't know where the John is and you have to go. You know? Would you be more miserable or less miserable? On top of all these sorrows, you have this, more miserable. So you'd certainly jump, for sure. So you're leaning out the window to jump, and all of a sudden there's a miracle. You can see, for the first time in your life you can see. You see sunshine, you see trees, you see flowers, you see people, faces, you see cars, you see planes, you see the world, all of its world. I mean, it's fascinating, right? Now, would you jump just now? No, you wouldn't jump just now. You'd stick around 2 weeks to see, yeah, it's euphoric, it's fantastic. Well, what about all these troubles? The heck with those troubles. I can see. Then you'd be there 3 weeks, and you get used to seeing. You get used to seeing, so you start remembering your troubles. By the 5th week, you jump. Yeah. So the secret of happiness is don't get used to seeing. Because if you get used to seeing, which is fantastic, you can get used to being president of the United States too. You know, when he was president, he didn't do silly things. I mean, when he was elected, and he got used to it. And he lost it. Yeah, you can get used to being a millionaire. You can get used to having a pool in your backyard. You can get used to having a Porsche. If you can get used to ours, you can get used to. Learn how not to get used to it. How not to get used to it? So we have a custom in the Jewish people, you know, you get up in the morning, you say, thank God I'm alive. Don't get used to living. You say, thank God the Almighty gave me, I can see. Appreciate it. Thank God I can hear. Thank God I can move. Thank God. Appreciate the beauties of living and you won't get used to them.
Being ungrateful, unsatisfied with what you already have, brings upon misery and disappointment.
I think if you look at what you have, then you won't be jealous of other people.
It's learning to be content
with whatever you have, whether it be a lot or a little.
To learn to be happy with what you have, I mean, I guess if you just, you know, take a step back and realize really how much we have. I mean, we're so spoiled now. You know, you have your car and your house and, you know, microwave and processed foods. You don't have to do anything. We're like the laziest people. Just everything's right at our fingertips. How could you not be happy with what you have if you really look at it? You know?